What if I told you that in the blink of an eye, you could be faced with a decision that could mean life or death for 5 people? What if saving them meant sacrificing one person? In a split second, what would you do? This isn't just a hypothetical. It's one of philosophy's most famous and unsettling dilemmas, the trolley problem. And today we're diving deep into this paradox. Is there ever a right choice? The trolley problem is a thought experiment first introduced by British philosopher Philip Foot in 1967. Imagine this. A runaway trolley is barreling down the tracks, heading straight toward 5 workers who can't get out of the way. You stand at a switch, and by pulling it, you can divert the trolley onto another track. But here's the catch. On that track is 1 worker. The question is simple. Do you pull the switch, sacrificing 1 life to save 5? Or do you do nothing, letting fate run its course? At its core, this dilemma forces us to confront our deepest moral intuitions. Should we act to minimize harm, even if it means actively causing harm? Or is inaction less morally blameworthy, even if it results in more lives lost? Let's dive into the different schools of thought. Utilitarianism argues that we should aim for the greatest good for the greatest number. In the trolley scenario, a utilitarian would likely pull the switch. After all, 5 lives saved versus 1 life lost. The math seems straightforward. But here's the problem. Does reducing human life to a numbers game strip away its moral complexity? On the other side, we have deontological ethics championed by Immanuel Kant. From this perspective, the morality of an action lies not in its consequences, but in the action itself. A deontologist might argue that pulling the switch is morally wrong because it involves intentionally causing harm, even if it saves more people. In their view, certain actions are simply impermissible, no matter the outcome. Then there's virtue ethics, which focuses less on rules and more on the character and intentions of the person making the decision. In this view, the right choice might depend on who you are and what virtues you embody. Are you compassionate, courageous, or wise? Perhaps the right action is less clear-cut, but rather a reflection of who we aspire to be as moral agents. Interestingly, variations of the trolley problem are being explored today in real-world contexts. With the rise of self-driving cars, programmers are essentially faced with modern versions of the trolley dilemma. How should autonomous vehicles be programmed to act in life-and-death situations? Should they be designed to minimize overall harm, even if it means sacrificing the passenger? There's ongoing research in neuroscience, too, which seeks to understand how our brains process moral decisions. Studies using fMRI scans show that when faced with dilemmas like the trolley problem, different areas of the brain light up, suggesting that both emotional and rational thinking play a role in our moral judgments. While we don't have a definitive answer, the trolley problem continues to challenge how we think about ethics, technology, and the human mind. So, is there ever a right choice? The trolley problem might not have one single answer, but it forces us to reflect on how we value life, responsibility, and moral action. Now, I want to hear from you. What would you do? Would you pull the switch or do nothing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more unsolved equations of the human mind.